1031 Fresh Radio, London's official Christmas station. And we are that for 6 more days. How you guys feeling? It's Kat Callahan here. And just so you know, my co-host, my buddy, Scott, he is not joining us for today. He's not feeling so great, but we hope he feels better tomorrow afternoon and he can come join us then. Coming up on the show, ton to get to. I want to talk to you about Tim Hortons, actually. 60th anniversary is coming up next year, and they made some pretty big announcements about donuts making a comeback. And I'm wondering if one of your favorite donuts is in this mix. So I am going to give you the list of what they've told us so far and other products that are coming back. We're going to talk about ordering in a drive-thru and things that you should know and you should prepare for. And I know you're like, I've done a drive-thru, thank you. I know what I'm doing. I thought that too. But then I read this list and I thought, I do not do some of these things, so I should probably mention it to others. There's so much going on, so let's get this show started. You can text the show anytime at 1-833-915-SHOW on London's official Christmas station. We're 1031 Fresh Radio. It's the Scott and Kat Show. It's Kat Callahan in. Scott's not feeling so great today, and we appreciate anyone who stays away from their colleagues around this time of year if they're not feeling well, right? Can we all agree? Hopefully he's feeling better, though. Told him to rest up, and maybe he'll be back with us tomorrow's show. So Tim Hortons is in the news. They are saying they're ready to listen to what their consumers want in 2024. And what do we want? Well, I'm not putting me in that we, guys, but apparently some people actually like the Dutchie. To each their own, man, to each their own. But it is lucky for you if you do like it. Come January 10th, they say the Dutchie will make its return. But that's not all. They say the menu is going to be stacked with a number of some new products. Of course, they always come up with new stuff every year, if not like multiple times a year. And old favorites, because they're marking their 60th anniversary on May the 17th. So the milestone's going to pay homage, they say, to some of the original treats that were on the menu when the very first Tim's opened in Hamilton way back when. So they're promising 4 retro donuts to us. So we know that one is the Dutchie, and that's going to be right away. But through the year, they're going to release 3 others, and they're not telling us the other 3. However, if you do a little digging, they actually ran a social media poll. They ran it earlier this year to ask people, hey, what would you want us to bring back? And of course, they were playing with our emotions, right? Like, oh, we have a say in this, do we? But it looks as though we did. So if you want to go by that poll, back in June, we favor the blueberry fritter, the chocolate eclair, or the cinnamon twist returning as the other top 3 that people said they want Tim's to bring back in 2024. But they do have other stuff that they mentioned in talking about the retro donuts that they're bringing back as part of the anniversary. They say that other anniversary products means the omelet bites are coming back. Those weren't too bad. They were all right. And that's going to be actually early in the year, January 8th. The bacon and egg white and the spinach varieties, they say. And they're also bringing back the sweet chili chicken wraps and bowls, if that was your thing. So time will tell what other donuts are going to be out, but that's what we know so far from Timmy's, who say it's all about the customer and celebrating the 60th anniversary in 2024.
The Scott and Kat Show. Comment and contribute anytime. Text 1-833-915-SHOW. Scott and Kat on 1031 Fresh Radio.
Hey guys, it's the Scott and Kat Show. I love a good inspirational story, and I got one for you here. This is pretty incredible. A woman just became the eldest University of North Texas student to complete her coursework, earning her master's degree in interdisciplinary studies at 90 years old. Her name is Minnie Payne. She attended junior college for only a short time after she graduated high school. This was back in 1950. And she said for years she always wanted to return to education after she retired. And everybody around her was like, that's not going to happen. Once you retire, you're going to want to just chill out. Why would you want to go back to school? That's ridiculous. But sure enough, she did it. She retired from her 30-year career as a transcriptionist and word processor. And she says, quote, I had always worked with words and I'd always liked to write. So I almost immediately went back to school. I wanted to improve myself. At 90, you think she's good now, right? You think, well, she's done it. She's accomplished it. Now she could chill. She's got her master's. No. She says she doesn't consider her education to be complete. In fact, she thinks all of us should think that way and never consider it to be complete. She says, in one way or another, I want to continue to learn. I don't know if she's going to be in the classroom or not, but there you go. It's never too late. Stories like that show us. She's 90. What's everyone else's excuse, I guess, if you really do want to complete that? I mean, it's not for everybody, but some people want to go back and do more, and she managed to do it after she already retired after a 30-year career. Good on her. Good on you, Minnie. I love stories like that. It's a Scott and Kat show.
Hey, this is Scott Fox, and the Christmas season on 103.1 Fresh Radio is in partnership with Ronald McDonald House, Southwestern Ontario, keeping families close over the holiday season and all year long.
Hey guys, it's the Scott and Kat show. And Kat here with you today. I've got a couple of auction stories I want to tell you about here. First is an item that was worn by Princess Diana. So we knew this would fetch some money. A lot of her clothes that have gone up for auction have fetched a ridiculous amount. And this time around is no exception. This is a ballerina length evening dress, if you can picture it. It was from the 80s, okay? So when I tell you that it has shoulder pads, you understand. Blue organza skirt and complete with a big bow. All of that makes sense. Again, it was the 80s. It was designed by a Moroccan-British fashion designer. They thought this thing was going to fetch like $100,000, maybe $200,000 at max. No. Winning bid came down this week at $1.1 million. And the buyer's identity was not disclosed. And fun fact, she did wear this one in Canada. She was attending the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra in 1985 when she was wearing this one. So see, some people apparently do have copious amounts of money that they'll spend on a dress. That's insane. And then this story, I love stories like this. Thrifter just bought a very interesting looking vase at a Goodwill. Just your typical Goodwill, looking through the aisles and spotted this vase. It was $3.99. She just turned it around at auction for $107,000. Makes me want to spend more time at the thrift stores. This woman's name is Jessica Vincent. She says she's developed an eye for spotting hidden treasures at secondhand stores. But even she didn't realize what she stumbled upon back in June. This was a Goodwill store in Virginia where the employees there are kicking themselves right now. She told the New York Times that she thought it was kind of neat looking and there was definitely something special about it. It was like an iridescent glass bottle, but it was what was on the bottom of it that caught her attention. She found an M on the bottom that she thought might stand for Murano, which is the island off Venice. It's known as a very important center of Italian glassmaking. I didn't know this information. She thought, I might be able to turn this around for $1,000. So she took it into a specialist, and it was determined to be a part of a very important part of glass history from the 40s. Rare to see. Went up for auction, and somebody, another anonymous rich person, bought it for $107,000. Not too bad at all. I'll take that. We are London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Hey, friends, if you see some snow on the ground where you're listening from right now, it's probably going to be short-lived, just so you know. It is probably going to be gone by the weekend. Yeah, if you're looking forward to a white Christmas. Everyone's saying it's not happening. Just so you know, we are going to talk Christmas, though. Traditions specifically, because I came across this great Reddit thread, and I know you guys are going to add to this conversation about your strange Christmas traditions, or maybe they're not so strange. That's fine too, but I love hearing about them. I'll tell you about mine too. Coming up on 103.1 Fresh Radio, we are London's official Christmas station. Hey friends, it's the Scott and Kat show. How you guys feeling? We are 6 days away now from Christmas. It's Kat Callahan here. Scott's going to hopefully join us again tomorrow if he's feeling a little bit better. And I love learning about your holiday traditions. And for some people, it's so like anti-Christmassy traditions, like the people who order fast food instead of like a proper meal on Christmas Eve, for example. I love hearing about different ones because your tradition is your own. Even last night on The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon was talking to Mandy Moore about a Christmas tradition that Gwen Stefani was telling him about.
Gwen Stefani gave me one tradition once where she said she wraps the doorway into the living room so that when the kids see Christmas morning, they run through the paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen those. I've seen that on TikTok before. For me and my family, we do PJs on Christmas Eve. That's what we do. That's about as crazy as it gets. They get to open up their new PJs, the kids do, and then I get one for my hubby, he gets some for me, and we all get to wear our brand new pajamas, and we wake up on Christmas morning, and it's very great, fine. The Reddit thread asking the question is fun too. This person says, my kids were born during the Christmas season, so all the houses were decorated when I first started to walk them around the neighborhood in the stroller. Obviously, they slept through most of the walks at first, but as they grew up, we developed a tradition of going on Christmas walks around the neighborhood at night to see all the decorations. It's become my favorite holiday tradition. This person says they started a random smorgasbord Christmas lunch. So the afternoon of the 24th, when grocery stores are still open, they all disperse and go to a grocery store, but everybody pulls from a hat an assignment. So one person gets an entree, a side, a dessert, an appetizer, etc. But you can't find out what anyone else is doing. So you end up with a really random meal with no coordination at all, which is kind of fun. This person says, a second Christmas. My sister and I started it a few years ago. We were too broke to buy each other Christmas gifts. It's so expensive. So when the taxes come in, the checks, we set a budget based on what we get back, and then we get each other a Christmas present. So we end up celebrating Christmas at a weird time of the year. That's okay. Like I said, each tradition is like their own. It belongs to you. And this one too. My dad's parents always put a box of chocolates under the tree, and they were enjoyed first thing on Christmas morning while opening presents. My dad did that for us. I've carried that tradition on to my kids. If you have any fun traditions, feel free to let us know. 1-833-915-SHOW. That's one thing that I will say I do. It's Christmas morning. I tell my kids every time they ask for candy in the morning or something, I say, your birthday? Christmas. Those are the only days. And in their stocking, sure enough, they get lots of chocolate and candy to choose from. It happens every single year. It's fun talking about different traditions that you guys have. I love learning about them. It's a Scott and Kat show. Scott and Kat show, and we are so close to Christmas, so we were talking about some Christmas traditions, and I'm loving your texts on this because I love hearing about other people's traditions. Maybe it's with their family, maybe it's with your friends, maybe it's just something that you like to do around the holidays. 1-833-915-SHOW is our number. This texter says, it's my birthday on Christmas Day. So every December 25th at 12 p.m. on the dot, it switches over to my birthday. And birthday decorations go up. We put on birthday hats, and it's my birthday celebration up until midnight. We have all my favorite foods and drinks, or we go out to the movies or do some sort of activity. That's awesome. I love that. I always wonder when people have their birthday on Christmas Day. A good friend of mine has their birthday on Christmas Day. Now, he loves it, because to him, everyone's in a good mood. He always gets the day off, he says. And there's copious amounts of presents. And the people who know you and love you want to give you even more because they know they kind of feel bad for you at the same time. But all in all, people usually tend to be in a pretty good mood on Christmas Day. This person says, every year my wife and I buy an ornament for our tree that corresponds with something that happened that year. So we have a tree filled with all these weird, wacky ornaments, like a tennis ball when we started playing tennis that year, a Swedish chef from our trip to Europe, a ship captain nutcracker for our first cruise, etc., etc. That's cool. I like that. My family has a tradition of leaving riddles on cards, says this texter, to guess what the gift is before you open it. We go around one by one, reading our hint out loud so everybody can try to guess, then open it and show the room. It ends up taking 5 hours for everyone to get through their gifts, but it's always a fun time. Well, if you want to purposely make it a little longer, that's not a bad thing to implement, right? Because sometimes it goes fast. It goes by fast. You're like, well, how did you open that many gifts so quickly? And finally, this texter says, every Christmas, the kids in the house have wrapping paper put over the entrances to their rooms, so they get to rip right through it in the morning. It started as a way to keep a certain kid when he kept coming out early to try to sneak to see Santa. So this way we knew when he tried to leave his room. I like that a lot. Thank you so much for your text messages. You can text the Scott and Kat Show anytime. 1-833-915-SHOW. I'll be right back. This came across my desk over here, and it caught my attention. And sometimes you see headlines like 6 things you always should do at Tim Hortons when ordering, and you think these might be silly. But this one's actually pretty good, and it's according to a longtime employee who's also on TikTok. Her name is Kate. And she's a Timmy's employee who often shares like secret menu hacks and things like that on TikTok. But this time around, she just wants to make it clear that if you do these things, it's better for everybody. And some of these are good tips. I'd like people to try this out. Number 1 is order food. When you're up at the drive-thru, you pull up. Don't order your beverage first. Order food before drinks. She says you should always order food before drinks. Quote, as soon as you order it, we're starting to make it. So if you order your double-double before your breakfast sandwich, your coffee will be on the counter sitting there waiting while your food is being made. Start the food first. That usually takes much longer, as people know. Okay, I didn't know that was the thing. That's good to know. Number 2, if you have a big order, go in. And hey, the people in the drive-thru appreciate you for it. Well, it's not said here if you can't do big orders necessarily. We know you can. I've been stuck behind those people. You know who you are. But they say going into the Tim's location instead is something that you should do to save time. Also, keep track of when your Tim's Rewards points expire. They do expire after a year. That's a good tip. Great. Keep track of it. Make sure that you're using it. Screenshot your Tim's Rewards code. Oh, can I just say that that's probably works for a lot of different places? If you use those rewards or that store code or whatever, whether it's like PC points or whatever it might be, screenshotting it to have it in your photos in case you're at a spot that like the Wi-Fi isn't working well or something weird is happening with your phone, you at least have it in your photos folder. That's not bad. That's not bad. Or if you have a physical card, have it ready. Sure, fine. And finally, order what you want in your drink, not what you don't want in your drink. And by that, they mean if you don't want sugar, for example, in your coffee, but you do want milk, don't go up saying, no sugar though, but this and that. Don't even mention sugar. Just order whatever it is. A medium, 2 milk, a large, 1 cream. Don't say what you don't want. Say what you do want, because they'll often just hear the words sugar or sweetener or milk or cream or something that you may have said you don't want, but all they're going to hear is the other stuff sometimes. So there you go. There's some tips, whether they work or not for you. It is from a longtime employee that says it would probably help everybody else around you if you did that. It's the Scott and Kat Show. It's the Scott and Kat Show, and it's Kat and Octavia here with you guys today. Octavia, I wanted to ask you about New Year's Eve. I don't think I've asked. Do you have any New Year's Eve planned yet, or are you planning to do anything?
I'm hoping to. Fingers crossed, but nothing is solid yet.
You're hoping to. So when you say that, do you mean like out or go to a party in? Do you have a preference?
I'd rather party in.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I hear that. I feel that. I actually came across an article, and I thought this article is from our friends at Global, could be of some assistance to people as they celebrate New Year's Eve if you want to do it on a budget. So I want to go through some of the tips that they have here for you. First and foremost, decorations are key. They say that the atmosphere is definitely, it has to be there, right? But you could go cheaper on that. You could do dollar store, right?
Yeah, they got banners and stuff. It works.
That's fine. Backdrops, especially to take photos in front of it. Okay, fine. We've all seen that before too, like the little foil fringy things, fun and good. Is it weird to ask other people if they have decorations if they're coming to your house? I'm just thinking, if you're the one throwing the party, is that a weird thing to be like, why don't you bring decorations? That would be great.
If they offer, maybe, but
Okay.
I wouldn't be like, hey, have you stopped by the dollar store lately?
Why didn't you come with the balloons, loser? Tips 2. They say go to Costco, get more bang for your buck for food and snacks. I don't know, man. Every time I go to Costco, I spend like $500. So I'm not sure if that's going to save you money, but if you go in with a plan, fine. And then they go other things too, like, hey, you can put on cool disco ball lights. You can find them pretty cheap now, like online, right? Little disco ball light fun things, cheap card games for entertainment. Good. All well and good, fine. What caught my eye here, though, on this list is the disposable camera they have here. And disposable cameras are making a comeback, they say. So grab yourself something like the Fujifilm Quick Snap Flash Camera. So here's what I want to ask. Now, Octavia, you're quite young. You weren't really you don't remember disposable cameras when they were actually around, right?
No, I never really used them. Maybe a couple times. I will say when I was in grade school, a couple times.
Okay. All right. You know, they're $33.94 on Amazon here.
That seems like too much.
I swear they were like $8 back in the day. Were they not, people? Help me out with that. And I don't even know where you get them developed. So please, by all means, if you guys have insight on this, that's great. But do you find that you have a lot of friends that use disposable cameras? Is that a trendy thing, or just some people do?
It's a trendy thing, but not in my circle.
I just don't understand, man. We've come so far. Let me tell you something, Octavia. You used to bring these disposable cameras around to parties. You used to take the pictures, and you had no idea what they were going to look like. And sometimes you developed them, and you're like, oh, that was horrible. My finger was in all the pictures. My finger was right in the way. And now we've come so far where we could just, in the moment, you're like, that one was screwy and blurry. Let's do another one. And now we're just going backwards here.
And I've seen people will take pictures with these disposable cameras and then post them on their Instagram.
Yeah, tell me how that makes sense.
What are we doing?
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone with that because I thought, am I just being a very millennial person right now? But okay, very good. Well, there's some tips. Nonetheless, if you guys are planning to throw a New Year's Eve party, I will not be doing that this year. I'm going to bow out of that one. But Happy New Year. Is it too early to wish someone a Happy New Year?
A little.
Maybe? Okay,
I think
all
so.
right. We'll hold off. We'll hold off. It's not even Christmas yet, but that is still 6 days away. Only 6 days away, guys. It's the Scott and Kat Show. It's Kat Callahan here with our producer, Octavia. I want to bring you in on this, Octavia, because this is blowing my mind and not in really the great way.
Oh no.
The latest poll is here. 2,000 adults participated in this poll, ranking what age they believe each milestone should be hit in our lives.
Okay.
And some of it is like exactly what I figured it would be, but some of these are just ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to get you to do a little guessing game here, okay? What age do you think that, according to these adults that were polled, they believe the average person should be able to afford a car?
24.
Okay, not bad. 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not bad, right? That seems reasonable to me.
Makes
Seems
sense.
Reasonable. The average person should be in their starter home at what age?
I feel like I'm not going to like the answer. Let's say 26 for that one.
30.
Okay.
More reasonable,
Okay.
not bad. Some people would still say, not these days. What age do you think that people believe if you want to have a child, you should have your first child?
If we're only affording a car at 26, let's say 27, maybe
30.
30. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. If the person wants a second, what age do you think they said? What's an ideal age to have a second child?
33 then, if we're going off the first one?
32. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're bang on here. You're doing well. The average person should be able to afford their dream home. Now, when you say dream home, I know there's like people thinking, what do you mean dream home? My dream home? I think they mean like attainable. You know what I mean? Like in your realm of what you make for a living, dream home, right? Can we go with that maybe? So what age do you think that people should be able to attain and afford their dream home?
40, maybe?
They said 33. So this is where we get a little off the rails here.
Let's
33.
be real.
Yeah. And if you guys like that, wait till you hear this one. What age do you believe these 2,000 adults that were polled averaged out when we should be retired by?
Oh, I feel like they're very optimistic. I'm going to say, let's hope to be retired by 65.
You know, they said 44.
Okay.
Who are these people?
I don't...
I mean, that's a nice thought, but no. I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm not sure if that means we just throw that whole poll in the trash, but I'm getting pretty close to it right about now. I think everybody moves a little bit differently, but that's the latest result from this poll of 2,000 adults of which milestones we should hit when.
Scott and Kat, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
I've never done a cruise ship before.
Oh, okay. They're great. I love them.
Could you do any type of themed cruise? And what would it be if you did jump on a themed cruise?
Do they have golf-themed cruises? Because I'd do that.
You could probably do that. Why couldn't you tee off into the ocean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure people who preserve wildlife or ocean life would love that.
No whale has ever eaten a golf ball. We're fine.
And they go right to the bottom, don't they?
Exactly. They sink. Mine do, anyway.
Scott and Kat, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
It's the Scott and Kat Show. Are you guys crushing some Christmas movies? Do you have ones that you need to watch? You have to watch it every holiday season. There's a few on my list I always have to watch. I did the Home Alone thing already. Brought the kids in on that this year for the first time, and they love it. They think Kevin McAllister is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I haven't told them yet that he's like a 40-something-year-old man at this point, but that's fine. And then Home Alone 2, we watched 2. We're going to watch Elf this weekend. I always have to watch Christmas Vacation. Got to do it. But Samba TV, they analyze viewership habits of houses, and this is collected through smart TVs. They compiled a list of the most watched holiday movies, and this is between November 10th and December 10th of this year. So if you're curious what people are watching the most, number one, by far, is Elf. Yes. Again, that's on my list this weekend. 9 million household views, they say, in that time frame. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is second, followed by Home Alone, then The Santa Claus, Four Christmases, which is a good movie. I'm so glad to see that at the top of the list. It's one of those ones that when it came out, I feel like people were like, oh, it's pretty good, but I'm glad it's kind of become a part of people's tradition. It's a good one. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, specifically the one from 2000, very good. And then you're going to love this one. Best Christmas Ever, which is the one that's on Netflix from this year. A lot of people, 2.3 million households watching Best Christmas Ever. Now, people said some things about it, but I actually watched it and I didn't think it was that bad. Was it cheesy? Yes. Do I like a little bit of cheese with my Christmas movies? Absolutely. The Holiday is in there. That's great. Top of my list, too. It's a good one. And then Family Switch and A Christmas Story round out the top 10 of the movies that we watch the most between November 10th and December 10th. Happy Christmas movie watching, friends. We'll be right back.
The Scott and Kat Show. Comment and contribute anytime. Text 1-833-915-SHOW. Scott and Kat on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
London's official Christmas station for 6 more days. What's going on, friends? It's 103.1 Fresh Radio. Kat Callahan saying thank you so much for listening to the show. And before I let y'all go and keep listening to Fresh and the amazing Christmas music that we have planned for you tonight, I want to remind you that Sven's back tomorrow. It's been really fun having Sven's Snowy Surprise weekday mornings on Fresh. So be listening 7:20 a.m. If you don't usually get up that early, set your alarm, join the party, and that's your chance to play. So you then, if you get through and you're caller 10, you get to play Sven's Snowy Surprise. You'll have to tell Fresh Mornings when to have Sven stop shoveling. That's when a prize appears. And regardless of how much he shovels, you're going to be rewarded with something, with an amazing prize for the holiday season, courtesy of all of our friends and sponsors. 1031freshradio.ca for more info. And we'll catch you back here. I say we. Hopefully Scott's feeling better. But I'll definitely be here for you. I should knock on something, right? Please stay healthy, Kat. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock on 1031 Fresh Radio.